This is a video on how to download and graph the data you're going to be using in your market structure project. And in particular, I'm going to be giving you some instructions on how to get the data for your market share for your industry. And first things first. First of all, you need to know what industry you need to collect data for, which means you have to select it. In this particular case, I've selected video game software. Now, based upon our discussion on market share, excuse me, market structure, video game software is a narrow definition of an industry. And I want to collect data on that particular narrow definition. And in particular, I want to collect market share of all of the major players in that particular industry in a specific geographic market, in this case, United States. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to, and by the way, in your project details, I give you detailed instructions on how to access the databases we're going to be using. And the databases are going to be right here. So let me show you how you do that. First of all, I'm going to log in my GGU for you. So I'm going to put in my username and my password. I click go. Oh, wrong password. Try it again. And click go. So now I'm in GGU for you. And I want to go to libraries. See right here, libraries. And in libraries, I'm going to scroll down and I want to go to the university library right here. And I want to scroll down and go to database. Here, under where it says collections, I want to go to databases. Now for databases, there is a section called database by subject. Click on that link, database by subject. And since we're talking about market share, and market share, every firm has an industry, and every industry has a market structure. I want to go under topics. I want to go under industry information. You see that right here, industry information. I'm going to click on that. And now I'm in. These are all of the databases that we have access to, and these are some really good information here. Now, one of the databases that I recommend in the course guidelines is this one called Passport. I'm going to click on that one. Now, when you click on Passport, you have to, sometimes you have to log in again. Here, it's just bringing me straight in. But under the home for Passport, you see where it says Search Statistics? Click on this here where it says Choose Industry. This is a great way of looking at all of the different broad categories of industries. Now remember, my narrow definition is video game software. These are more broad categories. What you can do is you could go straight to this database and click on any one of these broad categories and find more narrow definitions of industries that may interest you. For example, if I scroll down a little bit, hold on. If I scroll down, I see one of the uh, categories is toys and games. I'm going to click on that, toys and games. And under choose category, think of choose category as a more narrow definition of your industry. I'm going to click on video game software. Now, toys and games, broad definition of an industry. Video game software, narrow definition of an industry. I'm going to click on that. And once I've done that, I'm going to click go. And look at this. Isn't this great? We've got uh, the industry by different countries. You can call it geographic regions. Now, I want to limit my analysis to video game software in the United States, so USA right here. And look at all these nice little buttons here. I could click the brown button right here is company market shares, um, broad shares, distribution. Lots of great information. And look at this, it has it year by year. So I want to go to company shares. That's market share. I'm going to click on that little brown button right there. And it gives me the most recent year, 2014, all the way to 2009. So I can create some great information based upon year and look, all of the companies, and these are their market share in percent form. Now, I want to create a pie chart like we see right here. I want to create a pie chart that has all of the market share data for 2014 for video game software. And that's this information right here. Now I'm going to show you how to download this into Excel and graph it into a pie chart. And worst comes to worst, you could actually just input all of this data by hand because there's not that much data in terms of companies. You could see that um, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Only 14 companies worth of data. But luckily, this gives you the ability of downloading this data. See this little button right here? Download. I'm going to click on download, and I'm going to download the current view into Excel. And it gives me a little file, Excel file. I'm going to click on that file in the bottom right, and Excel opens up. And here you've got your data in very, very usable format. Here are the years. Now, basically, all we need for our purposes are the company names and 2014. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate the data that we don't need. So I'm just going to highlight 2009 to 2013, and then I'm going to right-click on the gray area and just click delete. So now I just have 2014. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the columns to the left. I don't need this information, excuse me. I don't need column A and column B. So I'm going to highlight both columns, right click on it, and then click delete. And here's the data we need. Now, what's interesting, well, first of all, let's clean up this data a little bit. You could see that, let me move this over just a little bit. That's tough to see. Let me just insert a column here so you can see better. There, that's better. You can see that there are a couple of companies with 0% market share, right? So let's eliminate those. I'm going to delete those. So I'm going to highlight both rows. I'm going to right click on the shaded area and click delete. Oh, I forgot one more. This THQ doesn't have any market share data. I'm going to right click on it, click delete. And so you can see that I have all of the market share data. And you can see there's some data that's very, very small market share. Sega Sammy Holdings Incorporated, only 0.4%. So these have very, very small market shares. Now, what I can do to make this a little more manageable when I create a graph, I could combine the smaller companies into this other category. See this other? And so what I can do is watch this. I'm going to have my cutoff at Microsoft. Microsoft is 3.9%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a column here. I'm going to click on insert, and I'm going to call this other or others, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up all of these and put them all in one category. And the reason why I'm doing this is because since there's such small market shares, when I create that pie chart, these are going to be very, very thin slices. And I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, if you go to the top of your menu in Excel, let me see if I can bring that up here. See this under the Home tab, they have this summation button right here. I could click on that. And I don't want to sum up top. I want to sum the bottom from 14 to Warner Brothers Incorporated right there. and I simply hit enter. And this is represents all of these companies. So what I can do now is I could just graph from here down to others. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm highlighting from companies to the bottom right hand of my data. And I'm going to go to the Insert tab. And I'm going to go to Charts group right here. And see where it says pie, right? Or where it has the pie icon. I'm going to click on that little down arrow. I'm going to click on the 3D pie chart. And boom, there's my pie chart. Now, let's take a look at how we want the pie chart formatted. If I go back to my the sample I gave you, notice how I'm going to have the title in this little gray area right here, and I want the company names inside of the pie slice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some changes here. First of all, I'm going to get rid of the legend. I'm going to click one time on the legend and then hit delete, and that gets rid of it. Then I'm going to get rid of the 2014. The reason why we don't need the 2014 is because we have 2014 up in the title up here. So I'm just going to click on it one time. It highlights it. I'm going to hit delete, and it's gone. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to click one time on the pie like this. And then I'm going to go to the Home tab. Let me just move this over here. Um, I'm going to, when you click on the pie, you're going to see a tool called Add Chart Elements. I'm going to click on that. And you see where it says Data Labels? I'm going to click on Data Labels. And I'm going to go to the very bottom where it says More Data Label Options. I'm going to click on that. And you can see over here on the right-hand side, right now it's giving me the values. I don't want the values, so I'm going to uncheck values. But I'm going to click on company name. Aha, there's my company names. And I want the company names inside the pies. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit. You can see over here. I'm going to have it click on the in, um, in inside end right there. See how it moved everything inside? And the last thing I want to do is I'm going to turn the text white because it shows up better there. So let me get rid of this. And I'm going to go to the Home tab right here. And you see where you have this text icon right here? I'm going to click on the font color. I'm going to click on the little down arrow. I'm going to click on white. There, that's exactly what we want. So now all we've got to do once we have this, I'm going to click I'm going to click outside of the chart area, and I'm just going to click on it one time on this outer area right here. If you click on it one time, you can see it highlights just the outer area. And I'm going to copy it. I'm going to Control C copies it. And I'm going to toggle over to the um, template that you have at the bottom of it. And you can see I want my market share data right here. I'm just going to hit paste, Control V. Now, all I got to do is to get it in the right place, I could simply click on this and delete this, right? And just resize it to get it right about where I want it. And I want it right about like this. Come on, it's not moving. I think because I've got to right click on it and let me scroll down a little bit. Do you see this area where it says text wrap? I'm going to click on text wrap and I'm going to put in front of text right here. And that should allow me to move it now. Watch. See, it allows me to move it. I'm going to position it right here. Perfect. Now, I think my labels are a little too big, the text. So if I click on one time on the letters, see how they all highlighted? If I go to the Home tab in Word, I could make that 8-point font, and it fits a little bit better. Doesn't it look nice? Now, if I click outside of it, what I want to do is I want to get rid of this border. If I click on the chart one time, and I go to design, excuse me, format, and you see where it says shape outline. I'm going to click on no outline, and it gets rid of that outline. And there you have it. There's your data, excuse me, your graph, your pie chart. You see all of the market share for each one. Now I've got to just simply put in my data. So for example, if you look at the way I have it, I have market share for the United States. So market share, and I'm just going to change this to US. There. And that's how you download and graph pie chart data for this particular project.